sat her out. But just building up what it all looks like, because we haven't had time to look at how all the different combinations can play, so we try to mix them up. So that was good. That was fun, because now we have basically our full team.
So just kind of a logistical, where's everybody at going into tomorrow? And Brianna said she's hoping she gets a minutes bump, but where do you foresee her?
I have to talk to her people, but it'll be a few minutes. She's always trying to negotiate. I'm like, dude, you're going to get me in trouble. And smart here. That's why I said, lucky we didn't go to overtime because you were fucked. You weren't playing anymore. You're done. We might have been that too. Look, a few more minutes, which will be good. I think it's hard now because, she's a key player, and to get the rotation set, you needed to be playing her minutes. But we've just got to be, manageable. When Tash was out, that was hard too, because you had to bring her in and out because she was our backup point guard. But that's, in the end, it's all reps that we can get together, and she'll have a few more minutes. Tash is, we're optimistic she can play. She did at the start of practice, and we sat her out. So we'll see how she goes tomorrow. Izzy was full participant and looked good.
You played Stewie, Emma, and JJ just 2 minutes together?
Yeah, only because of Stewie's minutes restriction. So it's just really hard when it gets up to that, because she needs to start in the 4 to get. She doesn't play for money, so she needs to play like her position with how she plays. And then it's matchups too. But when 20 comes real quick, when you have it 3, KB can go to the 4 off course, but matchups. But hopefully we can grow it. We worked a little bit on the big lineup today, and we just got to learn by the minutes that we'll have in these next games until Stewie's open.
What do you feel like? Is there anything you can learn from those 2 minutes?
It was a bit clunky in those 2 minutes. The big lineup wasn't that good for us, but it will be. We just need repetition. You need experiences to learn. Emma's never played. Last year when we played big, it was a little bit different. But they'll work it out. That's why these practices are good for us, because you can do it live. You can't start to simulate when you're just walking through stuff.
In what ways? Oh, sorry. So a lot of teams right now are playing for playoff positioning. And Zach said you guys are not necessarily playing for that. You just want to have everyone all together. What are some of the keys, I guess, to finishing off the season strong?
Yeah, being really intentional with how we want to play, but then the basic needs as well too. Taking care of the ball. Making sure we're playing with the movement that we want and the purpose. How we, when we're 0.5, we're good. When we get stagnant and teams get physical, we don't move it as much, but we need to move it more. With the spacing that we have. The blocking out, that's been an issue for us too. Just some basic needs and that. And then foul discipline. As simple as it is, I know that's not even about offense and defense as, how we want to play. It's just the basics that kind of hurt us, because in that second quarter, we couldn't score because we couldn't stop it. So everything was take it out of the basket, where we kind of got stagnant and stopped moving the ball like we did in that first half. They're all learning things that we've got to get better at. Where it's frustrating, obviously, but I think today is a good day for us to feel good about where we can lead with the group that we have.
We obviously only see the last half hour of practice, but it seemed like there was a lot of intensity, a lot of intentionality. Yeah. Just in terms of where we are in the season, how much do you think you were leaning on them or maybe pushing them more than you might have in a normal practice right before the playoffs?
We've still got so much to be better at, because we haven't had our people on the, our players on the court and have this time. Enjoy Emma coming new, integrating new players as well. It takes time. Look, I think we're smart with their load management, but this is we had a day off yesterday, so they finally had a day off in a busy schedule. And how much do we practice as we move forward? We just got to, be intentional with what we want to do. And I think a lot of video has to be done to help it grow. And I think our coaches are doing a really good job of showing what we need to do.
Sandy, as a coach, but also as a teacher, how are you going into this last stretch of the season, especially when you go out west? I think there are some practice days when you are away.
Yeah, we will, because we have 2 days in between tour, but not the Phoenix one, but the other two we do. So it'll be good to get on the court. I think, because we haven't had time together, the group together, that takes time, for continuity. You know, other teams, you know, it's easier. You got the same route. We had, like, I don't know, felt like 25 different starting lineups and
15,
yeah, which is probably a lot, you know, in that regard, because you learn, think, oh, now we're going to learn this person's in and out, and just having one person in and out changes it. So we're just, you know, so we just got to be really intentional through our video and the time that we do have on the court. What do we need to get better at? You know, I think Zach does a good job with our movement and our principles, but then it's them making decisions on the fly out there, how with the movement. And I think, you know, we look good, now we just got to keep carrying it over and get, you know, okay, that was great, let's do it again, and then be consistently great for 40 minutes.
Also, I just want to know how you all are looking at, you know, managing Leo's minutes. I mean, you know, she has had such a load on her, especially when you've had Stewie and JJ out, and you know, you see she makes mistakes because of the exhaustion.
Yeah, no, and we see that. So it's, you know, where can we give her some more extra minutes? Now it helps. You know, Tash is back. That will help move forward, and we know we can lean into the bench. I thought, you know, Beck Gardner had some good minutes for us too. So, you know, we can lean into that depending on, you know, obviously the combinations and how they all work together. And but yeah, limiting her minutes might be much, but trying to get her below 30, I think that's important. And I'm trying to not play long stretches where we can, and you know, 7 minutes, try and not get over that, because then fatigue sets in.
Sandy, what went into the decision to keep Davey in the starting lineup and go on the bench when you were having Stewie come back?
And who on the bench? Sorry.
Oh, Emma.
Oh, Emma.
Just when Stewie was
we
coming
hadn't
back,
had any time together with the big three.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get off to a good start. So we went with familiarity.
With Sonia and Kiki tomorrow, Paige played well here, Dominique Malonga. It's a really prolific rookie
Everyone loves
class.
playing in New York too. Yeah.
That's true. Elite
right?
crowd.
Lacan, I'm like, how good's she? Good little player. And now I've scouted her for a while. She's doing really well.
Layla too, just where does this rookie class, do you think as a whole, kind of stack up to classes you've seen in the past?
I mean, it has to be right up there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, just with the depth that we have. Usually we have some good rookie classes, but they're more at the top, and there's, you know, depends on what team they play for and the role that they have. But these rookies are coming in and very impressive. They don't play like rookies, and they have no fear. And I love that about young players coming in. You know, they're like, hey, I'm really good too. And they're doing that. You know, they're just getting out. Like Lacan, you know, she's an international player, but just for her to come in and play so well, I think that's good for our league as we move forward into expansion.
Sandy, you've been around this game a long time as a player and coach. When you look up and you see what Brianna Stewart and, you know, Sabrina Ionesco are doing off the court from a marketing and branding perspective, could you just speak about that evolution of the players? And do you remember any players kind of like that, being able to kind of like brand themselves the way that they've been doing?
Yeah, no, it's been great, and it's you know, it's about time in that, because they're obviously the best at what they do. And you see Caitlin now, but you know, Stewie and Sabrina, you know, with their brands, what they've done, and it's not just their shoe deals and everything, it's all the other deals that they're getting, and they're impacting because they can reach so many people. They talk about them. Back in my era, it probably was Lisa Leslie and Cheryl Swoots. I don't think didn't have such, you know, they might have had a shoe, but they didn't have the whole brand. But like, you know, it's better late than never. I think that's the evolution of our game, isn't it? You know, we're evolving on the court, we're evolving off the court with how impactful these players are. But they're, you know, they're even better. They're role models, and they're just great human beings.
Coach, Barclays Center has to be one of the toughest places to play from a crowd perspective. What does that speak to, like the environment we're building here at the Barclays?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I think the opponents love coming to Barclays, and you know, competing against a team that, you know, I think they know basketball. I think they're respectful. Okay, a few players got booed, but you know, usually they're cheering. You know, they know what basketball should look like, and you know, it certainly helps us. It's a you know, they're our sixth player really. When we get going, how loud they do get. I think that kind of gives the players more energy when they're a little bit more fatigued. But it's special playing in there. When I'm coaching, I don't hear too much. You know, I can block it out. But I think everyone comes for the whole entertainment as well too. I mean, Ali, and I don't know if the players are all looking at that on the other team, but I'm sure they're seeing it all on TikTok, whatever.
Apologies if I missed this earlier, but what has been the key, or how have you tried to approach getting Emma as acclimated as possible with very little practice time, and even not even having Stewie out there for a bunch of it.
I know it's hard in that regard, and Emma is, even though she's a really smart player, it's hard to come to a team midway through the year and get implemented, but I think she's handling it as well as we would have hoped. Today was really good because we could mix some teams up and who they think we could play with, so just to get reps. And it's hard. We only could play the big three 2 minutes the other day. Of course, we need to explore what that looks like, and that's a viable option for us, and I think it is. But we still need experiences to learn. But yeah, I think she's doing well. She's hanging in there. It's it's probably a little harder than she probably would have thought, but the game, she's going to help us, and she's getting more comfortable, and I think that's a great asset for us as we move forward.
Just trying to do it on the fly, essentially.
Yeah, and that's hard because you have limited practice and watch some video, and everyone expects her to just go out there, but she's not. They don't, like, the others have to understand how she plays, and she has to understand how we play. So it's twofold. It's not just coming in, because she has some special skills, and there's ways, we want to integrate how we can continue to expand that without losing, how we want to play.
Thanks, Sandy.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.